Hope you guys had a great Super Bowl Sunday. Let's go ahead and jump into this pre-market brief. We're going to start off by looking at international markets. Looking at the Kospi, the Korean markets, they ended their day at plus 4.1%, surging off of American markets rally on Friday. We have the Nikkei, Japanese markets, ending their day at plus 3.89%, not only surging off of the American market Friday rally, but also their Prime Minister Takaichi, holding her snap election yesterday, won that election in a landslide, and Trump put his stamp on it. So that's a big deal. Taiwan markets ended their day at plus 1.96%. Let's go to the European markets as far as pre-market, because they haven't opened just yet as of this recording. We have the DAX German market sitting at plus 0.89 or 0.79%. We have the CAC 40 sitting at plus 0.28%. That's French markets. And we have the general Euro markets sitting at plus 0.59% on the morning. So everybody is just building off of the American markets Friday momentum. Let's go over to our portfolio and see what the pre-market or overnight or extended hours is looking like right now. Surging right now. We don't know if this is going to hold, but right now we are pushing into the positive, building off of Friday's rally. So we're going to see how that's going to change in the coming days. In the next 30 minutes or so, pre-market are open and we'll get a better judge of it, but it should roll over pretty seamlessly. We'll take a look at the S&P, which we covered yesterday in our Sunday or weekend coverage of the crypto markets and market news. But in general, we're not going to do too much chart analysis on this lovely Monday because we covered it yesterday. All we're really waiting for in general for the rest of this week is for the market to show us if it's going to just continue a sideways trend, bounce between these bounds, this lower bound of $6,780 as far as the S&P 500 is concerned, and about $7,002. We'll see if we're just going to bounce sideways in between that, or if we're going to break through that upper bounds and start pushing back to the upside. But once again, I want to talk about the Japanese markets. Takaichi getting the big win in that election is huge. I'm going to show a little clip in a second, but I just wanted to note that this is big, not only for Japan, but for Japan and its relationship with the Americas. Trump is a big supporter of how, like I said yesterday, Takaichi is focused on building Japan and making Japan first. The Japan economy, the Japanese people, putting them first and building from the inside, especially with self-defense and being able to defend their territory against the Chinese. So it's a big deal. Here's a little clip of Trump praising Takaichi for her win and a little bit of information about what's coming after this and the political power that comes with her win in her country.
President Trump now has congratulated the Prime Minister, saying that she's a very strong leader, and of course really pointing to her landslide victory, saying that she's a highly respected and very popular leader of Japan, and Japan will always have his strong support. Avro, really strong words coming from the president just a few minutes ago. Let's actually take a look at the implications of the vote. I want to hear the reaction from businesses, what this resounding victory by the Prime Minister will mean when it comes to operating here in Japan.
Well, I think for foreign businesses operating in Japan, this is fundamentally good news in the sense that Takaichi has dedicated herself to re-energizing the Japanese economy with what she has termed responsible but proactive fiscal policy. And that is, we've seen in her first 3 months efforts to pursue this agenda, but those have been constrained greatly by the lack of a majority in either house of the Diet. With this very resounding victory in the lower house of the Diet, she now has the opportunity to forge ahead with her real program
how much of a boost did she get in her negotiation and in her dealing with President Trump? She's expected to meet him in March as well.
That's right. Well, she starts off with a great relationship with President Trump. I mean, when she met him last October, they had tremendous chemistry. But what she lacked was political power. I mean, she was in a very tough situation at that time. That has completely changed. And now she approaches Trump not only with good chemistry, but a lot of political muscle. And I think he's going to respect that. But it also could increase expectations from the White House for her to be able to deliver on the trade deal, to be able to deliver on defense spending. And so that could put a bit more pressure on her.
With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at crypto and see where it is sitting on the day. It is pulling more in the red, more than likely because people's focus is not too much on the crypto arena. After Friday's surge, it's more on the stocks and where the rally is going to continue or broaden out to. But let's take a look at Bitcoin and see if there is any kind of sign of where it may be going as far as the American market open, which is typically when it gets its big push and the majority of its movement. Right now, all we see on the 30-minute time frame, which is the most detail we can get, is a little bit of a sideways trend. So we're just going to be waiting until more of the pre-market opens up and when the general markets, American markets open, when we will more than likely see the most movement in the price of Bitcoin. But other than that, other big news, GM, one of the stocks in our portfolio, who hit my radar once they released the news that they were going to be joining F1 as the first American constructors. That means building the car from the ground up and the team in Formula One. But they did their livery reveal during the Super Bowl yesterday, and I just wanted to throw them out there. Their chart looks phenomenal. We're going to go look at their monthly time frame chart here. Let's go to the yearly. In general, we see we got that lovely curve on a yearly time frame. As far as the monthly, it's been a bit shaky, had a big drawdown in 2021 once the Biden administration put on all those restrictions and the requirement of electric vehicles. So that just drawed everything down because of obviously the pandemic, but also those industry restrictions and requirements up until 2030. Other than that, it's a pretty solid stock. I don't typically invest in auto companies. I am invested in Ferrari, but GM is probably the only other overall brand as far as car companies that I'm invested in. Well, Tesla now too, but it's not. Tesla isn't a car company. But in general, yeah, solid stock for now. Something I'm gonna watch, but it has a solid track record. Here's that little clip of the livery. I will be keeping up with their Formula One record and races. I believe their first preseason run is February 11th through February 13th in Bahrain. So if you're into Formula One.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. That goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. That challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone,
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5,
and one we intend to win.
3, 2, 1. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
One other thing I wanted to note. So last week I was discussing how the pullback in the market wasn't people just taking their money out of the stock market. It was them redistributing where they placed their money. And to highlight that, I wanted to say this is one little interesting point. The pull out of the market or the pull down in the market and then the surge on Friday somewhat coincides with how long it typically takes a bank deposit or a transaction to occur. So Monday, the market starts pulling back. Everybody like, what's going on? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the heaviest pull, but it typically takes 2 to 3 business days for investment transactions to complete. So they probably sold on Monday morning. It took 2 or 3 days till Thursday for the transaction to complete. So that's why the market dropped so much on Thursday. And then Friday, the market rallied so much because it was those people who had sold out of those Magnificent Seven, those main companies, to put their money into the broader market. They pushed their money back into the market on Friday to spread it throughout instead of just being concentrated in those Magnificent Seven. I thought that was interesting. Just something to put out there, something to think about. But other than that, the only other big news, we do have earnings this week. I will more than likely post on my Facebook about which ones I'm going to be highlighting or covering. And then we have jobs reports Wednesday. It's late, but it's coming out, so that's solid. It's going to give us a little gauge on the jobs market and if the Fed may have reason to cut rates or to hold rates steady in the coming months, maybe sooner than most think, which would more than likely give rise to more momentum for the market to push back to the upside. But other than that, guys, that's all that I have for you on this lovely morning in this pre-market brief. If there's anything dramatic that happens, I may have an aftermarket review, but if not, unless there's earnings, I will more than likely see you tomorrow morning. So buy the dip, average down if there's certain stocks in your portfolio that are pulling back during the day, and always be prepared. The pre-market is somewhat of a mystery nowadays because we could have this heavy push right now, which we see in silver, Casey's, which I talked about Friday, and a lot of small and mid-cap stocks. There's FIX. If you don't have FIX in your portfolio, I don't know what you're doing. But there might be a open sell-off, or we may continue this push and continue the momentum to the upside to possibly break through and head to new highs in the market. But we will see. Only time will tell. See y'all at the open. Have a good day. Peace.